If you've ever felt happy for a while, but then slowly watch that happiness fade, we are going to be talking about the reasons why in this video, as well as talking about some tiny shifts we can make within our lives to allow our happiness to be sustainable and not actually fade over time. So first things first in this video, let's talk about why this happens or when this might happen. So typically this type of happiness where we feel super happy all of a sudden happens with like dramatic shifts in our life. So maybe we got a brand new job or a promotion, maybe we entered a new relationship, or we moved to a new city, or maybe we met a goal. Maybe we reached one of our goals that we've been working towards for a very long time. So any of these things, anything in this category of a big dramatic shift, these are called temporary highs. These things like give us dopamine and they make us feel so happy, they make us feel so accomplished. But the only downside about this is we might feel like we've made it. We might feel like, oh my God, I'm finally at the point in my life where I am truly happy. But the sad thing about this is this happiness does fade over time because we're humans and we adapt. So what feels new and novel now, we eventually will become accustomed to. We will get used to whatever this thing is, and with that adaptation, the dopamine also slowly goes away and it leaves us maybe feeling a little bit empty. And maybe we question and ask ourselves, why is my happiness fading? I thought I reached this point where I was going to be happy. Why is it fading? Why is it going away? So yeah, it's tough because obviously we love these big things that happen to us, these really exciting things, and we feel hope. We feel like, wow, I finally feel happy. But then when we eventually adapt to our new situation and that dopamine slowly fades and our happiness begins to fade a little bit, we question, we're like, what went wrong? Like, and it might even make us question our decisions. Like, oh my gosh, like, do I even want this thing? Everything I've been working towards, like, has it even been worth it? Because I'm actually not feeling that happy anymore. And this is a super normal thing to experience, and that is why it is so important to not base your happiness off of these big dramatic changes, but actually build your happiness slowly and sustainably in a way that will actually last. So, my name is Haley, and welcome to the Living Free and Me YouTube channel. Here we discuss happiness and building true fulfillment in slow and steady ways. So, we have talked about dopamine a little bit so far. So, dopamine occurs in our brains when something really good happens to us. And dopamine is super great to experience in the moment, but we can't base all of our happiness around when we experience dopamine. So we have to differentiate dopamine happiness versus true meaning and true fulfillment in our life. So enjoy the times where the dopamine does hit, but then also we need to also be creating true meaning and fulfillment in our lives, because that is how we actually create happiness that lasts, instead of only experiencing happiness in these waves whenever something really good happens to us. So we tend to base our happiness around things that happen outside of us, so external things. And if you rewind the video and think about the things I listed at the beginning, when I talked about maybe you had a big move, maybe you got into a new relationship, you got a new job, or maybe you met a big goal. Notice how all of these things are actually external things. These are all things that have happened in your life, but it's not your how you feel on the inside. So we have to differentiate external things that happen to us versus our internal world. So when we're thinking about sustainable long-term happiness, we actually need to switch gears and start thinking about how we feel on the inside. And I know, depending on where you're at, this might feel a little bit scary, because I know it's super easy to numb yourself out, not really pay attention to how you're feeling. It's easier to kind of push it to the side sometimes. But if we are truly wanting to work towards true sustainable happiness and fulfillment, we do need to switch gears and begin looking what's going on in the inside and not just what's going on the outside. And this goes along with my next point, which is happiness versus true fulfillment. So when we are happy, happiness really comes and goes. It comes in waves when we don't create that internal foundation. And I like to think about the internal foundation is more of in terms of fulfillment. I really like that word fulfillment because I do think happiness and fulfillment are one of the same, but because I think when we feel fulfilled, that's when we feel truly happy. I think happiness can come in forms of like dopamine hits, but when we truly feel fulfilled, I feel like that is when that like sustainable happiness really comes into play. So we need to be, instead of asking ourselves what makes us happy, maybe we should switch and instead asks ourselves what truly makes us feel actually fulfilled. So yeah, basically we need to be creating happiness in our daily lives, not waiting for these big crazy changes to happen, but instead work on how are we going to feel happy in our day-to-day lives. What things can we start implementing in our daily lives that make us feel a little bit more fulfilled? Because in truth, I know it's easy to think about happiness as this destination that you get to. Eventually you're like, oh, when this and that happens in my life, I'm going to be truly happy. Happiness isn't something that you will eventually find. You won't wake up one day and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm super fulfilled and happy in my life. Actually, what needs to happen if you really want to feel happy and fulfilled is you have to build it slowly, gently, and sustainably over time. And I know this isn't a glorious answer. Maybe this isn't exactly what you want to hear, because I know everyone wants things very instantly, you know. We're very into like instant gratification where we want things and we want it now, but happiness and fulfillment is something that will affect every single aspect of your life. So I can definitely assure you that it is worth the wait, and it is worth all of, I don't want to say effort, but it is worth being mindful of, and it is worth putting your energy into yourself, learning about yourself, and figuring out what means a lot to you, and figuring out what you need to actually put your energy to feel the most fulfilled. Because everyone is completely different. We all need different things, and that is why to truly feel happy and fulfilled, you have to learn about yourself. You have to learn about who you are, what matters to you, and everyone is going to need something different. We all have different values, and that means we all have to give our energy to different things in order to feel truly fulfilled. So I just want you to know that wherever you are on your happiness journey, what you are experiencing is normal. If you feel very fulfilled, that's great. If you feel like you have a little bit more work to do, that is also totally fine. If you feel like you have no idea where to start and you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what fulfillment is. I don't know if I've ever felt fulfilled. I feel happy sometimes, but I actually don't truly feel fulfilled. Also know that is normal. I have also been there too, like multiple times in my life, so just know that I also have been there too. I've been on my happiness journey for 11 years now, so it's been a long journey, and I've been through like all the different stages and phases, so yeah, I've been there too. But I do have something to share with you. So if you would like a little bit of guidance and direction on how to create a gentle, sustainable routine that you can actually incorporate in your daily life to build that fulfillment and build your happiness in a slow, gentle, sustainable way, I have created the guide for you to do so. It is a course, and it is on my website, and I have it linked below. And my website is also livingfreeandme.com, and I have created it truly just wanting to support as many people as I can on their happiness journey. I have in the course, I actually go through the process that I use myself in order to build my fulfillment slowly but surely. So I really hope it can be helpful for you if you choose to check it out. But yeah, with that being said, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you want more videos on this topic of happiness and building fulfillment slowly and sustainably. And I'm curious if you have noticed or felt the difference between happiness and fulfillment. So I'm really curious as to like where you are between these two words, because also too, like, words mean different things to different people. So I'm curious what the words happiness and fulfillment mean to you personally. So if you want to let me know in the comments, feel free. Or if you want to journal about it, that's totally great. Or even just reflecting on it for a second. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.